What? How dare you? Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Welcome back to Ask Ashley. I'm finally in my room again at home in Seattle. Today I am wearing cheese socks. It's literally like they're little blocks of cheese. I have a new choker sent to me from Whimsical Charms. They made it custom for me. It's, let me get closer. It's a little donut that matches my little donut. This donut, I didn't buy it for my channel. I literally won this donut. We went to GamesWorks and I hit the jackpot, took my tickets, bought the donut. This video is not sponsored by Whimsical Charms. I get like 50 views, so no, it's not sponsored. So far, 2017 has been horrible. Like, let me tell you how it started out. I went to bed early on the night of the 31st. My friends woke me up just so I could see the fireworks. I saw the fireworks. I went back to sleep because I had an acting thing on the 1st. So I needed to go to bed early. I needed to be fresh and ready to show everyone all my talent. I went there, and when I woke up, my eye was like feeling a little funky. And I was like, no big deal, that's fine. I went through the whole like day. Everything was cool. My eye was just like a little bit weird. So when I came home from the acting thing, I like put a warm compress on my eye that everything will be okay. Me and my boyfriend went to a spa. It had a wet sauna, it had a dry sauna. We went in like a saltwater pool. Like it's like a giant bathtub, not a pool. And while we were doing this, my eye was like hurting more and more, and I was like, huh, this is weird. Like, so I was like holding it like when we were in the sauna because it was like, oh, heat, like whatever it is, it'll be fine, that'll be great. And then I woke up the next morning and my eye was huge. It was so big and disgusting. And I'm not gonna put in a picture because it was so disgusting, and I don't really want everyone to see me like that. But seriously, it was huge. So I was like putting a warm compress on it. I didn't go to work, but it was really gross. And that day, like my eye was like really gross. I'd just been doing nothing all day. We ordered dinner, and like an hour or so after dinner, I was still hungry. So I was like, I'm gonna make a smoothie. And I put chia seeds in the smoothie. I always put chia seeds in my smoothie. And I noticed that there was like little like chia seeds that had sprouted after I made the smoothie. And I didn't know if they were like from the chia seed little bin bucket thing or from the blender, but I drank it anyway. So then about 4 in the morning, I started throwing up because I'd given myself food poisoning. So I had to go to the doctor, and I had food poisoning, and it was disgusting, and I was like literally like in the parking garage, like on the ground of the parking garage, throwing up. It was just it was literally disgusting, and I was like, this is the worst time of my life. I'm probably gonna die from a swollen eye and food poisoning. As you can see, my eye looks totally normal, and oh, now it's twitching. Whoops, shouldn't have done that. So that was like the start of my 2017. So it can only go up from here, right? It's only, please, only go up from here. Today, I'm gonna tell you guys about a time that I fell for a scam. I know, it's true. It's hard to believe, right? That someone like me would fall for a scam. To start this story, I have to give you a little bit of backstory so you can realize how stupid it was for me to fall for this scam in the first place. I met with an agent in the Actors Equity building. Like, this woman was legit. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is great for me. Wow, look at me go. She told me, you know, she was like looking out for me on the whole, and she was like, no agent will ever make you pay to be signed by them. So no agent that's legit is going to say, all right, I want to sign you, you just have to pay me X amount of money. So I knew, and she said, anytime that happens, it's not a legit agency. A real agent won't do that. A real agent only gets paid when you get paid. There's no upfront fees, there's nothing like that. So don't fall for something like that. Like, okay, like that makes sense. And she also said, agents also will not be like your babysitter. They're not gonna say like, you have to take this acting class, you have to take this acting class. They are going to assume that you are doing your job and like studying, practicing, doing all the actor things, and they're gonna do their job, which is get you auditions, and the two things come to the middle. You're not doing your work. If you're letting yourself get rusty or like you weren't talented enough to begin with, they are just gonna drop you or they're not going to look for auditions for you. They're not going to say like, all right, Ashley, we need to get you into some classes. We need to do this, we need to do that. So that's like her second thing she told me. The third thing she told me is that they will help you with your headshots. So they'll help you get a good headshot and get something that really like shows who you are, because it's important that you know, have different looks of your headshot that aren't too like harsh and that aren't too role specific, I guess. She knows it better than me. So fast forward to when I'm in Seattle, I am calling around to agencies, seeing if they have auditions, and this one agency was like, hey, we're signing people right now. Why don't you come down, bring a monologue or something, and let's talk. And I was like, awesome, like, look at me go. Like, I've only been here for like 2 weeks. I'm like gonna audition for an agent. This is gonna be so awesome. So I go to this agency. I walk in, the guy is nice. He's very polite, but like right away he starts talking about how much money I can make as an actor. And if you're gonna be an actor, like don't do it for the money, because yeah, don't do it for the money. It's never, just please don't. I was like, that's kind of weird that he's talking about that. He goes so far as to show me paychecks from other actors that he has like laminated in a little book. So he's showing me and I'm like, this is weird, this isn't right. He starts talking to me about the classes that I can take, the workshops, classes I can take within that agency that will help me book auditions. And he said like, sometimes we take actors with a lot of experience, sometimes we take actors with no experience. These workshops and things makes everybody on the same playing field. And I'm like, no. I don't think that an actor who takes one workshop is gonna be the same as an actor who's been studying and has experience. I don't think that those are the same thing. And he's telling me that like, you have to take these workshops every so often. They're like $100 a workshop. And I'm like, oh, this is what the real agent in New York City was warning me about. And here it is like right in Seattle. Who would have thought that I would be like in this situation in Seattle versus like New York or LA? But anyway, he then is like, well, I want to sign you. And I was like, wait, he hasn't seen me do anything. He didn't look me up on YouTube or ask me to send in a self-tape or ask me to sing or ask me to do a monologue, nothing. He just saw who I was and said, I want to sign you. And I was just like, this like Hollywood magic idea of like walking down the street and being discovered, like that's not gonna happen, really. That's not gonna happen. But also that's not gonna happen in Seattle, Washington. And I was just like, this is not right. And like, so, you know, you get that like gut, like, oh my gosh, I should not. So he then says, we're looking at everything, and I say like, okay, so what is the cut? Like, what is your cut? The woman in New York had told me that her cut was like 10% and that usually they don't take more than 10%. Sometimes for like non-equity, they take 20. He was saying they always take 20 or 30%. And I was just like, well, maybe that makes more sense. I guess it's a smaller company. There's not as many jobs. And I was just like trying to convince myself that this guy was a good guy. So I start getting like even more like, oh, it's just this, I don't think this is right. I think this is bad. And so I was like very upfront, and I was just like, hey, like no bullshit. Is this legit? Like, I want to be an actor. I don't want this as a side gig. Like, I want to be sent out on auditions. I don't want to just like pay a fee or pay to do these actor workshops and never get anything from this. And he was just like, oh no, you're totally gonna get things. Right now I could submit you for a hair show. And I was like, what? He showed me like the casting call for this hair show. It says like, please be open to bright colors, and then everyone in the hair show is gonna be getting bright colors. And I'm like, if these are like serious actors, you probably shouldn't get bright colors in your hair. What? To top it all off, I say, is there a fee or anything to sign with you? And he said, no. And I said, oh, like that honestly shocked me, because I was thinking the whole time, like, this is a scam, this is a scam, this is a scam. But he then said, you do have to pay me like $350 to take your headshots. And I was like, oh, don't need them. Just got new headshots before I moved here. And he was like, oh no, we have a uniform headshot that everyone has to have the same one. And I was like, oh, this is a scam. I knew right then that it was a scam and that I should leave. And like, it was just so uncomfortable. I don't know, like I just got headshots. I need time to think about it. And then he started being like, well, you know, it's not that much and you could just call your parents. And then I'm like, oh, this guy has no idea how old I am. not that I'm that old, but I'm not gonna call my parents and ask for money. Not 16, I'm an adult. I told him I graduated college. So then he starts saying, well, I can cut you a deal, I can cut you a deal. I don't normally cut deals, but since you do have a lot of experience, I can cut you a deal and we'll pay right now and take your headshots. And I was like, I don't know. And it was just like this awkward like back and forth of him trying to make a deal and me saying, I don't know. And I started calling people and like people that I knew in the industry and someone who's like kind of my psychic. That sounds weird, but whatever. I call him and he's not answering, and this agent guy is like, the more people you call, the more likely you're gonna walk away from this, and you don't need to walk away from this. And I was like, this is like bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then he was like, okay, like I can do $200 for your headshots, but that's just because you're an experienced actor. Oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do. And I'm like so uncomfortable, and I get out my card and I'm like, oh, and my mom's like, I don't know, Ashley, it doesn't sound that smart, like maybe you should think about it. And like this guy was saying when I said like I want to think about it, he's like, well, spots are filling up. So you should probably assume when someone says like spots are filling up, that spots are not filling up. I totally don't know what to do in the moment, and I like fall victim to this. I pay the $200. I get these awful headshots because I just had this horrible sinking feeling like the whole time, and I felt like he should have been able to see it. If he does like indeed work with actors all the time, he should totally see that like my whole demeanor just like sank, and I was just like, oh, why did I do that? The headshots are bad, like it's like a weird, awkward, forced smile, and I was just like, oh. Luckily, this person can't, any job that I like book by myself, they don't get a cut of anything that I do outside of their company, outside of any auditions they send me on. They can't say that, you know, oh, Ashley is with us, she's from our talent agency. It was just so stupid of me because I literally knew that it was wrong. Like from the moment we started talking, everything that the real agent in New York had told me, like literally this guy was everything opposite. Like she told me, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And like he was all of those things she said do not fall for. And I did it, and I don't know why. Sometimes this person calls me and he says, like, oh, I have this commercial for you, I have this commercial for you, and I just like, I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, submit me, because I know that it's really probably not going to happen. So, if you are an actor and you ever find yourself in that situation, know that you're not supposed to pay anything. You do your own headshots. Your agent does not take your headshots. And you do not take any classes from your agent. You might take like a business class, but also they should want to teach you if they're your agent. Like agents don't get paid unless you get paid, so they want you to be a smart actor. They don't want to just like feed off your money. If you get those people, then those people are really not worth your time. Also, if you're not an actor and you're just in a situation where you have like that gut sinking feeling, like one of my good friends almost got into this pyramid scheme thing, and he felt so uncomfortable, and he had the guts to do what I didn't do, and he left. Like he just realized it was bad and was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. So don't be afraid if you're in that situation to be like, I'm sorry, I just don't feel right, this doesn't sit well with me. Ask for time, ask for like week, ask to just sleep on it or something, but get out of the situation and tell someone else, because sometimes someone else can be like, oh, that doesn't sound right, when to you it didn't seem that bad. They can like talk a little sense into you. This wasn't really like my normal videos. This is kind of like, I don't know, a story or something. But let me know if you like it. Give a thumbs up. You can comment, share, subscribe is always fun. Like we're super close to 100. I'm saying we. Like I know everyone who's watching the videos. I tried to make a Christmas vlog. I took a ton of video footage. The camera on my phone, I guess, just really isn't that good because it all just looks grainy and stupid, and I just don't want to post it on the internet. So I'm really sorry about the Christmas vlog. Be sure to ask a question. Thanks for watching Ask Away with Ashley K, and I'll see you next time. See you next time. See you next time. Bye.
It's called Lexus, not on the solar flexes. So they sold it at Pac Sun. It was cool to be young and reckless. Now I'm